Hi guys, welcome to Rise and Inspire.
Wow!
What's happening?
Try again.
Hold it. Hold on. Let's pretend we're not live right now. Whoa. Welcome to Rise and Inspire, where things can happen at any moment.
But we're on. We're here.
We are on. Kelly, Patricia.
I am, you can find me on Instagram at darcyelizabeth.co and then on Facebook, Darcy Elizabeth.
Oh my goodness. I love when things like start off not the way that you're expecting.
I know. And then you're like, who am I? What's my name?
I love it. I love it. It always throws me for a loop, but hey, welcome to my world, you know?
Exactly.
That's
so, today's topic is honestly probably gonna be one of my favorite topics because I think it really needs to be talked about. And that is just about kindness. Be nice, people. Let's be nice.
It seems so simple, but it's not.
No. And we're in a funny time where, there's a lot of people are struggling, whatever it may be in their life. And I think we forget that if you spread kindness, it's going to get us a lot farther.
It's so true. Yeah, I could not agree more. And honestly, there is no act of kindness that is too small, you guys. So even if it's just walking, well, you can't really smile at anyone at the moment, but even like, let's say you could smile, like it's those little things that matter. Like, oh, there are decent humans out in the world. Okay, maybe that, maybe my shitty mood just turned a little less shitty.
Yeah. So actually, an act of kindness that I came across the other day is I was going through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, and someone ahead of me bought my coffee. So then I got, the people behind me.
Yeah.
I was like, I was so excited. Like that little bit just like totally changed my whole day.
It's the little things like that that matter. And when I used to work in the public, I used to have this lady specifically, she would come in randomly and she would start it off first thing in the morning and pay for someone's, she'd give me like a $5 bill or $10 bill, $20 bill and be like, here, I'm going to pay for this. So many people's coffee coming. And then all those people would want to return the favor. And it's like, what? Someone already paid for my stuff. This is amazing. So it would really, start their mornings off like, wow, there are decent humans in this world. That's really cool. Maybe I should do something to brighten someone's day.
Right. And like when the world is seeming a little crazy at the moment and everyone has, their opinions on things, whatever it may be, we also got to remember that we're still human, right? So everybody's going through things, right? You don't know what someone's dealing with, even if it looks like they have a perfect life or whatever it may be. They could be struggling with anxiety. They could be, something going on within them or their family or whatever it may be. And constantly, having that negative energy can really bring down people. And that simple, like, hey, how was your day? Can turn it totally around.
It's so true. Like kindness begins, you guys, with the simple understanding that everyone struggles and things happen in the world, and just because you're going through something rough or things don't go as planned, that does not mean you have to be bitter or miserable or down in the dumps. Like we really can still brighten someone's day or something that just has to do with being nice.
Like one of my favorite things that I always talk about, if anybody ever watches my stories, is what you put in the universe is what you're going to get back. So if you are constantly, if you're raising people up and you're, cheering people on and you're really just like making sure you're being kind, you're going to get that same thing in return.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. And I notice it. It's, I used to witness it all the time. And that's just the way people, would always say to me, like, and some of my family's gonna be laughing right now. I'm not saying you have to be kind 24/7 to every single person in this world. I'm just saying you can always look on the bright side. You can always make someone else's day. And no matter, I feel like whatever I go through when I was working in the public, I'd always be so positive. Well, okay, in the beginning. No, I mean, like for the most part, every day I would try to show up as my best, no matter what was going on anywhere in my life. I would show up to try to make other people's day bright and cheery before they'd have to go off to work or on their way through or just whatever. And it's really those small acts of kindness that matter. You don't realize it, but they matter.
And like feedback I have always got, because I do try to bring positivity and really like just uplift. And I have a lot of energy. Y'all don't know me. I have a lot of energy going on. And a lot of times I'll have people say to me like, oh my gosh, you are like too much. And you know what? I am probably too much for some people, but wouldn't you rather having that positive energy, someone that's going to uplift you, push you, all that sort of stuff, then if you're constantly around somebody who is making negative comments, talking bad about somebody, whatever it may be, do you start to notice that you're doing that?
Yeah. It's like whatever you surround yourself, and that's why they say surround yourself with not a cage, but
right. That's why
people to uplift you.
Right. You want to surround yourself with people that you like desire to be, right? Like that there's qualities about them that you like, because I even notice it myself when it comes to like, not being overly nice to people. And I'm like, why am I being like that? And then I look around my environment, I'm like, okay, like,
I like that. You have to look around your environment. And that's why I'm saying, like, we're not nice 24/7, but we try to catch ourselves, and we also try to surround ourselves with like-minded people, and like we treat others how we want to be treated as well. So if, there's a reason that we're not, then we're either having a bad day or there's a reason behind it. And then we need to figure that out and move on.
Right. And like you make a great point. First up, we're human. We're not always going to be totally nice and happy. Life brings you down. But also, you have to find that happy medium. I mean, you have to stick up for yourself. Like I definitely am someone that's like, I stick up for myself.
Stand your ground,
yeah, I stand my ground, and I try to go about it the most like kindness way I can. But I do stick up for myself. So we're not telling you to like, always just be happy and just push things off, because some stuff needs to be addressed.
Yeah, we're humans. We're not robots.
Right. We got minds. If they're anything like mine, you overthink everything anyway.
And like you said, people may think that we're a little loud or a little out there, but we're outgoing. Like we have a lot of energy. We're positive. We have natural energy because we move our bodies, because we do mindset, we work together, we have like-minded people around us. We exercise to get the energy that we have to put it off into the world. And I think because we really try to work on ourselves, and that's what this is all about, helping other women try to be their best selves, because who wouldn't love a world of women just going around complimenting each other and not being jealous and not playing the comparison game and, walking past someone, and instead of thinking something negative about them because you're actually jealous or something, whatever that negative thing is in your head, like, what if the world was kinder? It all starts with kindness.
Right. Like a lot of times we look at other like other females or other people in general, and we instantly get this defense mechanism going on.
Yeah.
Where you get a little jealous and you're like, well, I'm not going to compliment her. Or my favorite is when someone says, you look so good, get out of here. Like, like those kind of things. I'm guilty of saying it myself.
Me too. Yeah. I say it too.
And like, that's crazy. Raise people up, like they're looking good, tell them.
Right. Don't mind that dinging.
It's like,
sorry.
Someone's here.
I'll know about it if they are. So.
Yeah, right.
Coming at you.
Coming at you. But yeah, I just think it's like so important that I did see this like challenge, and I challenge everybody to this. Instead of putting people down, turn around with a compliment.
Yeah, kindness matters. And like I was saying, like we move our bodies, we put good nutrition into our bodies most of the time, 75-80% of the time. So because of that, I feel like I said, we're working on mindset, whether, we're where we want to be or not. And because we're on that path and surrounded by the people who are doing that as well, we're really trying to make a difference of being less negative and being healthier, which means we feel better, which means we can act like that.
For sure. Right. Because like you know what, Kelly, me and you are great examples. Let's take it back.
Yeah.
Take it back 10 years.
Let's go.
And if you, like 10 years ago, I actually think back to myself, and I was actually a really negative person. And I talked a lot of smack that did not need to be said. But to be honest with you, it was my own personal issue. As we were talking about, I was, looking at other ladies and being the comparison game. And instead of being like, oh my God, look at her, she looks great. Like if I ever see somebody that, has lost weight or they look good, I make sure to tell them.
Yeah. Because if you're thinking something nice, tell them.
Tell them.
And
have you ever got a compliment and been mad? No.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm, that's the outgoing person. You don't have to be outgoing. You can still be shy, but honestly, if you're around other people and you see something that you like about them or that they're wearing or their glasses, eyeshadow, whatever, just say it. I mean, it will not hurt anything. You could make a new friend.
True.
You
True.
could.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely say and anyone who knows me in real life knows I may not have been the most like positive person growing up. And even till like, it's something that you still work on. But if there's anything I've learned, and since I actually started working on myself, it really is that kindness matters, whether you're being kind to yourself or to other people.
Yeah, so that brings up the next point that I want to talk about a little bit. Yes, you want to be kind to others, you want to raise people up, but this includes yourself. Be kind to yourself. If you are telling yourself something that you would never say to someone else, don't say it to yourself.
Don't do it.
No, like I remember there was actually a few days ago where I was like, ew, I look gross. And then I was thinking, like, how rude.
Yeah.
How freaking rude when I say that to someone else.
You would never tell me I look gross, even if I did.
Exactly. Not that you ever look gross, but you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, I would never say that to someone else. So why am I putting myself down? Why am I not being kind to myself?
Yeah.
And saying those mean things.
And I even talked about it on my stories today. Like I was literally telling myself something in my head that I would never tell anyone else. Like I shouldn't start where I am because of how I'll have to start it. Like my journey, and like that, for instance, in the exercising world, that's what I was talking about earlier is I was almost telling myself that I shouldn't even start something because of, I'm not in the same place where I was. So I was like saying all this negative stuff and not being very kind. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I would never tell someone not to start something because you have to, do it this way rather than the way you're used to. That just doesn't make sense. So you have to feed your mind kindness in all areas.
Right. And like, we work with a lot of people and we're, always inspiring others. And it's good to also do that to yourself.
Yeah, because we're not like I said, we're not robots, we're humans. So it does happen, but you
Yeah.
just have to check yourself, like talk to yourself, be like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so I said it, but we're gonna move on and I'm gonna do it, do it a different way.
Right. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. It's mind, body, and soul for real.
It is for sure. And like those kind little gestures you can do. Do you want to give some examples, Kel? Let's put you on the spot.
What? Honestly, so like for me, when I see something, I will go out of my way to go up to someone. Like I'm not scared. I'm not scared of strangers. I talk to random people. I say the weirdest shit. And I think when I moved to this town, that's kind of how I met everyone, because I would just randomly compliment them or randomly say something nice, or, they kind of like, wait a minute, what? They don't expect it. And it really turns people's moods around. It really like, wow, there's other nice souls out in the world. And like, let's say working in the public, I feel like, and I wasn't just like, whatever. I feel like I was kind of a counselor in some ways to people, because they would come in, and some people, you guys, just have the roughest day, right? And they just need that person to vent to. And a lot of times I would get like, well, why are you being so nice to them? Or why are you being so kind? And it's like, you don't know what anyone's going through. And it could mean the biggest change in the end. Like if someone was going through like a really hard mindset issue, and, from someone who deals with like anxiety and depression, I know like how deep in whatever those can go. And other people who don't deal with that don't understand. But it's those random ass acts of kindness, you guys, that can make all the difference in the world. It's insane.
And like, here's a really simple one. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so for instance, I'm becoming more aware of this now because my son, he says hi to everybody. I mean, as you know, Cal, he's like, hey, hi, good day. That's his new thing. Hi, good day. And
he needs a hat. Good day.
I know. Yes. We'll put it on the list.
We'll make a reel out of it.
Yes. And it kills me the number of people that don't say hi back. And then I notice, like, so now I notice myself, I'm like being very, like, I make sure I go out of my way to say hi to people, because it can really make their day. And for some reason, I think that now that we have these masks over our face, we are forgetting to smile at people. We're forgetting to say, hey, how are you? When you see somebody, we almost use it as a cover up. I'm guilty of this. FYI, I'm guilty of this as well. I'm not even gonna lie, but like, make the time to say, hey, how are you? Or how's your day? Because that person might have just needed that. We're a lot of working at home all the time, not seeing anybody else.
Yeah, it's so true. And honestly, it's just, I can't even like explain how small something like this can just lead to big results,
Right. Big impact. Those little actions can lead to big impact. And we're fortunate, Kelly, because we have a community that we have, built where that's what we do. We inspire others. We raise each other up. But not everybody has that.
Right. Or they may just be too hesitant to want to join. I know like a lot of girls who would join our groups or whatever, like they don't want to post, you know what I mean? And I don't, post sweaty selfies or post anything that has to do with their, I don't know, working on themselves to be a better person. I don't know if they're, not afraid necessarily, but I know when I first started, I'm like, people are judgy, you know what I mean? So I would always think about that in my head, but this could be,
still to this day, I do that.
This is the safest place that we have. I feel like that girls just come together. We're not judgy. We're purely kind. We do things out of the kindness of our hearts to help other people just be the best versions of themselves. And like I said, we're not, we're human. So we're not like this 24/7, but we do check ourselves and we do, mindset to help us get there.
Right. And you know what? That brings up a great point. So Kelly and I are going to be kicking off this group that's called Happy Hormone Holiday. It's going to start November 9th. And yes, we're going to focus a lot about talking about hormones and how to regulate them and get in balance. But that's just one piece of it. The other piece is this community that you get of like-minded women. And even this morning, I have this group going right now with some of my girls, and one of them said, like, this morning text that we have going on is literally helping me get through this day. And that just literally like melted my heart, because that's what it's about. So we're going to be kicking off this group that you not only get 2 coaches, you get the hormone course piece, but you also still get that motivation every day. We're going to teach you about mindset. We're going to help you develop your own sort of meal plan. And we're just going to be there cheering you on along with all these other ladies.
And that's actually what kept me going when I first started. Like, I didn't want to show up for myself. It wasn't a habit yet. So because I was in this community of the nicest, kindest ladies I have ever met in my life, I was like, well, I have to show up so they see my face. And it was because of my girls like Leah and Sophie and Vanessa and Shannon and all these women, you know, every single one of them, I would show up because they're so freaking kind, so kind, so inviting. Like, I love all of them, and there's so many of them, I can't even name them all because there's so many amazing, kind women who are just there for you.
Right. So just take on the challenge of being like, you know, try to go out of your way to be a little bit nicer and see how you feel after too. Like, I notice with myself, when I am kinder, when I'm, you know, raising people up and I'm kind to myself, I feel better.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You can sleep better, you feel better, all of the things.
Yep. Well, Kel, that's all I got on my little spiel soapbox today about
I know. Same here. It's honestly just do something either today or tomorrow that shows kindness of some way and see what happens.
Right. And
see
then,
the effect of it.
Message us to let us know what you did. And then that's something we can share. Like, if you have other ways that you think of that we could spread out there to be kind, let us know. We can share it. And it's just, I notice now would be the best time for all of us to like kind of come together, raise each other up.
Right.
Be nice.
Even if you don't agree with everything, you know, like, say you and I had differences, like, let's push that aside and let's still be kind to each other, because we're not the same person. Therefore, we don't act the same. We don't have the same whatever. So, you know, we're all different. So let's just, you know, be kind, because there's no reason to be judgy or any of that.
Well, that's all I got. If you want to reach out to Kelly or I, you can find us on Instagram or Facebook, or even drop a comment on this video. And if you want to join in on the Happy Hormone Holiday group, we still got spots left.
Let us know.
If you sign up before November 1st, you do get a little starter package. So, woo!
Everybody loves that.
Thank you all.